Welcome to part 2 of the myth busting series. Fitness industry stuff that we hear about, just general sayings you might hear at family gatherings or just social gatherings. Let's go through it. Number 1, longer workouts equal better results. True or false? Well, it's neither, because it's all comes down to the term it depends. Number 1, it depends on what you're exercising. So is your session well planned out? Are you prioritizing your heavier lifts, more intense lifts first before going into your isolation work? What's the split that you're doing throughout the week? Are you doing 3 sessions, 3 full body sessions a week? Are you doing, 4 sessions a week where it's upper body, lower body, rest day, upper body, lower body? Are you doing the general bro split? It all comes down to your exercise selection, the split that you're doing throughout the week, and the intensity that you're working at. So longer workouts don't always equate to better results. It more so comes down to choosing the exercise selection, the split, and the intensity that works best for you. So we can go through each of them very quickly. I don't want to ramble on. When you're choosing a split, so how many days you want to work out throughout the week, you need to make sure that you're targeting all the muscle groups that you want to target. Okay, it's completely up to you. Yes, you don't have to do leg day if you don't want to. You don't have to do upper body day if you don't want to. You don't have to do a cardio day. It is all up to you. My recommendation would be to try and hit everything, because they're all important, but at the end of the day, it is up to you. But whatever you choose, you need to make sure that the exercises you're choosing, if you want to get a more well-developed chest, make sure that, you're choosing an exercise that works for you. So yes, bench press, dips, push-ups, chest press, these are all great exercises, whether it's a cable, a machine, just body weight, or of a free weight. There's always going to be an exercise that, targets the muscles a lot more efficiently. But at the end of the day, it comes down to what works best for you. If you're somebody who has quite long arms, you might feel a lot less chest activation through a bench press compared to someone who has shorter arms. Or if you are somebody who, has, you're just not confident with using barbells and dumbbells, so you prefer using the chest press machine. That's perfectly fine. It just comes down to making sure that you choose what you feel comfortable with and making sure that you work hard enough. You can work to failure if you want to, but you need to make sure that, you're really pushing yourself to the limits at least once or twice a week with that exercise. If you're just going in there cruising, moving weight around, but you're not really building up a sweat, or you're not feeling any kind of activation or stimulus, then you're probably not working hard enough, and it's time that you started, get a kick up the bum and start working a bit harder, because that's going to get you better results. If getting the best possible results is what you want, which is, generally what everyone wants when they work out, it all comes down to the intensity. The length of your workout, that's one thing. The type of split that you choose, yes, that's also another thing. The exercises, yes, but the most important one is the intensity that you work at. So, no, longer workouts don't yield better results, because it's all independent on the person, but the intensity is the most important factor. Number 2, squats and deadlifts will ruin your back. No, they will not. If done, there's a lot of injuries with squats and deadlifts, but it's still they're both very safe exercises. And there might be some arguments being like, if they're not done correctly, then they cause injuries. But I don't think that's a fair point to make, because that just puts too much blame on the person themselves. a lot of the time when people get lower back injuries from doing a squat or a deadlift, there is an element of error that a person, is responsible for if they push themselves too hard too early. But sometimes injuries just happen. Sometimes you didn't get enough sleep, or, too much stress, or, you just, the increased stress can lead to these things because it's just your body's not in the right position, not physically, but, right state in order to, deal with those stresses just in that point in time. But squats and deadlifts are fantastic for things like building up your strength of your back, the stabilization of the muscles that run down your spine, so the extensors, and these are all exercises that can help you through everyday life. So helping you with various functional movements. A squat is a functional movement. A deadlift is a functional movement. A deadlift is a hip hinge, and you perform these movements every single day. Regardless of your ability or disability, if you have a disability, yes, there is more of an individualized approach to performing these exercises, but squats and deadlifts, the benefits far outweigh the risks. And I think everybody should be doing squats and deadlifts to some degree. If you're not confident, that's okay, but they can do so much good for you, especially when it comes to, if you have lower back pain. I would suggest talking to a personal trainer, talking to someone who has a lot of experience, because every single person does need to squat differently, but having someone who's experienced and educated and trained to walk you through it can help you so much with making sure that you're confident and that you're safe. So number 3, lifting weights will stunt a child's growth. This is kind of like something that got debunked quite a long time ago. Lifting weights does not stunt a child's growth. It has the exact same effect on their body as it does with us. I think the assumption around this is that it causes damage to the growth plates in a child. No, it's just not correct. Like, if the only way to damage the growth plates is to actually damage the growth plates, and that can occur through injury or any kind of trauma. So say you get into a car accident. Unfortunately, these things happen, but you get into a car accident and, the child breaks their arm to a degree, and it's quite a severe break. That has the potential to, stunt their growth if there's enough damage applied to that growth plate. But generally, lifting weights is fantastic for children. This is a really, really good thing to do with your kids, because number one, you allow them to be confident. It helps build with confidence. It helps build with coordination. Not just through things like agility, balance, and coordination skills that you see with sports, but it shows them how to move their body. So this can be in a way of preventing bad habits. So sitting habits, children who's not children, but like, say they pick up a habit of sitting in a particular way because they find it comfortable. Like, I'm just kind of grasping at straws here, but if they do that long enough, that can have impacts on their joints as they get older, because as we know, when you start developing habits when you're a kid, you tend to stay with those throughout your life. But exercise, physical activity is always a good thing for kids. Lifting weights is a good thing for kids. The last thing you want to do is to put this message into your kid's brain and mind that they should fear the gym or they should fear exercise, because that's not right at all, because that sets them up for bad mentality, a bad relationship, and just, an unhealthy lifestyle. Number 4, target muscles to spot reduce fat. No, this has been debunked. This is something that you generally see in, men's health magazines or women's health magazines, lifestyle magazines, whatever it is. And you still even see it today on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook, whatever it is. And it's usually always specific to the abdominal region, and maybe the glutes for women. So this is incorrect. You cannot spot reduce fat. If you're looking to lose weight, it's not just a single method. Yes, some people say it all comes down to diet. Some people say there's more of a contribution from your exercise and physical activity. Again, there's a contribution between both of them. Okay? Everything. It's not just diet and exercise. It's managing your stress levels. It's making sure that, you're making the right choices throughout your life. Reducing stress, getting enough sleep, making sure you're not, taking in too many calories throughout the day with your diet. It's okay to snack, but don't go overboard, and just getting enough physical activity. Every person should be doing as best as they can, and, it's not like make your life miserable by doing things that you don't want to do, but when your body is in the state of losing weight, burning fat because of a calorie deficit, which is, caused by a lot of things, not just diet, like I said, you cannot choose where you lose that fat from. Your body will choose it for you, and it's different for every single person. And you usually get a lot of people giving anecdotal evidence, so their own experience, or their mum or dad's or their child's or their brothers or whatever, whoever it is. You might go to the gym and Joe Blow might be like, oh mate, I lost 3-4 inches off my gut just by doing cardio every day, and that's the only thing I swear by. But they didn't tell you that they were on a strict calorie deficit in their diet, or that they stopped smoking, or that they stopped drinking. So this is why we need to take what other people say, especially when it's an absolute message or an absolute statement, with a grain of salt. So to summarize that point, because I went on a little bit, you can't spot reduce fat. It's more of a management of everything that makes up your well-being. Are you getting enough exercise? Are you eating enough to, function during the day, but you're not eating too much where you're in a calorie surplus? Are you managing the stress in your life? And are you making the right lifestyle choices? So, making sure that you're not smoking, drinking too much alcohol. Those are going to be the things that are going to help you lose weight. But no, you can't spot reduce fat. Number 5, lifting weights will make you bulky. It's really, building muscle takes a really long time, and it's very hard. Well, I wouldn't say it's very hard, because all you need to do is really show up and be consistent and make sure you're working hard enough. But that in itself can be very difficult for a lot of people. But, if all of us started getting really bulky the second we started lifting weights, then, I don't know, it'd be a different world, wouldn't it? It'd be crazy. Lifting weights don't make you bulky. Like, I don't know where this came from. I mean, I hear a lot of people say it, you hear co-workers say it, you hear other people say it, and I'm like, I would love for that to happen to me. Has that happened? Has that ever happened to you in the past? Oh my gosh, give me some of your genes so that can happen to me. I've been working out for a long time, and, the results need to come faster, but no, lifting weights, getting bulky comes down to a few things. Being in a calorie surplus, eating, and, making sure that your diet is well maintained. So not just eating a whole bunch of junk food, so that you're hitting that calorie surplus. No, making sure that you're eating enough protein, carbs, and, other things like vegetables and fruit, just to give your body the best nutrients it possibly can. The health of your body and your mind are very closely connected to the type of food that you eat. And if you think about it, like, the fuel that you put into your body, like, that's, you are essentially what you eat. You know, it's all of that food, all those nutrients get used by your body. So you need to make sure that you're giving it the right stuff to get the best result. But yeah, it comes to, sorry, I went on a little tangent then. So it comes from managing your diet correctly, making sure that you're working at a high enough intensity where the fatigue levels aren't crippling, but also that you're getting a really good stimulus for growth on your muscles. Managing your stress. I mean, this goes into the last point with the targeting muscles to spot reduce fat, but it's a whole, I mean, I guess you could say the whole bloody thing of this episode, the whole message is just lifestyle management. You know, making sure that you're making the right choices in your life, managing your stress as best as you can, because that will get you the best results in the gym. Trust me, it will get you the best results. And unfortunately, it takes time. It's going to take time to see these results, but you have to trust the process. You know, like anyone who's picking up a new skill, if it's a musical instrument, singing, acting, whatever it is, whatever you're learning, these things take time to progress and get better and master. And exercise and being healthy is no different. If anything, making healthy choices and living a healthy lifestyle gives you more short-term results, which helps you stick with these things long term. But anyway, I'm gonna finish it there. I don't want to ramble on too much. It's just, you know, it tends to be what I do. Unfortunately, I'm very sorry. I'll leave you to it. Thanks for watching, listening. I'll make another one soon. It took so long to get this one out because I shot the whole other video and I just was not happy whatsoever with the result, and I've done it again. So anyway, thanks everyone. Bye.